Hola, and welcome to a new episode of the Roofless Dog and Pony Show. My name is Julio Panicello. I am the dream alchemist at Roofless Painters, a free-range art school and gallery for creative nomads. In each episode, we feature the theme of our next painting collection so you can learn what we will be painting and why. We discuss the origin of the painting theme and its contemporary context, and we explore different possibilities for visual representation on our work using paintings throughout art history as inspiration, citing stylistic and historical references. In many ways, our episodes are like our paintings, messy, unpredictable, and unvarnished. All episodes can be found as video format on Instagram and on our YouTube channel, and as podcast on any podcast platform. So you can listen to the presentation while you drive, or if you were not able to watch it live, or if you are trying to fall asleep, because we think it's going to help. If you have any comments or questions, please don't hesitate to reach out, add your comment and your question, contribute to this presentation. We know you're going to make it so much better. So I think this is the end of the introduction. This is week 52 of the Roofless Dog and Pony Show. Week 52. So I just can't believe that it's been a year already, and we're very excited about this new painting collection. It's going to involve some sort of like figure perhaps and portrait, but before we show the first image, we're just going to say something about this past couple of weeks in which we have found ourselves, when we checked the news, that we have seen more stuff from the previous president than from the current president. And the stuff that we've been reading, it doesn't sound or look very good at all. So for this next painting collection, we thought it would be interesting to bring back some better time and also some things related to summer. So we went back in time and we found a painting collection a few years back that, for whatever reason, it was I believe it was summer 2015, perhaps, who knows, I think it was 15, we never actually realized. And we thought that this could be the perfect time right now to actually do this painting collection. And the painting collection title is going to be Barack Eating Ice Cream. Because there was a time not long ago in which this very important figure was famous for going on outings and just popping in ice cream parlors or restaurants or kiosks and just ordering and eating ice creams. So we thought it would be a good idea to do that, to, in a very nostalgic way, look back and paint portraits of Barack Obama eating ice cream, because there are plenty of images of him doing that. And it's going to be a way of celebrating one of the most beloved, I would say, activities during summertime, which is eating ice creams. Also pointing out that it's harder and harder to find things that everybody likes. We thought rainbows were safe, but I guess they're not. Well, let's see if ice cream cones or ice creams could remain a universal beloved element. So, well, we're gonna propose something stylistically that's gonna, based on the slides that we're gonna present, and we're gonna show different examples of figures that have been the subject of paintings in which there's also an ice cream or an ice cream cone. And before doing or showing images, let me just get this one out of the way. There's a famous Picasso painting. Picasso's not our favorite artist. We should just say that, just because his personal life was he was not a very nice person. But anyhow, so this is a not very well known painting of a man eating ice cream, and some people debate. We have to do a deep dive, but they question, or they mention that perhaps this was a self-portrait. Who knows? But yeah, this is a painting, a Picasso painting, featuring a figure eating ice cream. So let's just continue, and we just wanted to bring this photograph. I mean, I think this is something that we're going to use for our stylistic proposition. This is a photograph of Marilyn Monroe eating ice cream, eating an ice cream sundae in 1953, and the photograph was taken by a photographer named André de Dienne. He was an Austrian photographer, an immigrant, and he was famous for taking a few images of Marilyn Monroe, and some of them, they were very commercial, but some of them were actually pretty powerful and interesting. And we're going to use this as one of the stylistic anchors of our next painting collection, because we love the fact that this is a photograph taken in black and white. There's something about this chromatic register that makes us think of things belonging in the past, perhaps. So what we're gonna compile or propose, we're gonna gather a bunch of images of Barack Obama eating ice cream, and we're gonna propose to paint a figure in black and white, and it would be also technically a good way to facilitate or to explore or to practice wider value spectrum. And then we're just gonna do the ice cream in color, just sort of like combine the monochromatic for two reasons. Conceptually, because sort of like represents a figure from the past. It reminds us also of the old Gerhard Richter images or paintings or photographs that he did of his family. So we're just gonna combine a bunch of conceptual mumbo jumbo, I guess. And then we're just going to paint the ice cream in color, so that there will be two versions of the same image. The reason why we are going to do the color images is because there's this beautiful Wayne Thiebaud, American artist, who is still alive. I think he turned 100 years old recently, I think this year. And personally, this is probably one of my favorite paintings of him, just because it combines the realism with the surrealism, and I like this humorous, sweet, kind, harmless, what else? I don't know, innocent and playful, which I think it also describes conceptually ice cream. So I love this image. It's called Clown Cones. It was painted in 2000. There's something really sweet and rebellious at the same time, mischievous, upside down. There's no figure, but we thought it would be interesting to combine stylistically or to use these two images, the Marilyn Monroe image of her eating an ice cream sundae, and use the black and white proposition, and then also get inspired by this playful image of Wayne Thiebaud ice cream to do the ice cream in color. So this sort of like describes the proposition. Hopefully it's sort of like appealing or interesting. This is a Banksy, so I'm just gonna go from the sweet and innocent to something that he did in 2004, Girl with Ice Cream on Palette. That's the title. So we're assuming that's a wood palette. So there's a figure, there's ice cream. It's also monochromatic. So that's another reason why we wanted to propose this as well, not just the Marilyn Monroe, but there have been some examples. And the next one, it's going to also, the next painting featuring a figure and an ice cream. It's just going to be a combination of monochromatic and color. But this one in particular, perhaps it was painted in 2004. It feels very contemporary. You know, there's this innocent scene of someone eating ice cream, but then there's something hiding. So I feel like Banksy, again, I mean, we don't know what kind of person he was. Obviously, he wasn't as bad as Picasso as a person. We don't know. He's not in our list of favorite artists either. But and that's a different story. But this image, it's so powerful, and it really represents for us the exact week and month, but especially week that we're living right now, because it just feels like the current time. We're grateful that we are where we are, I guess, but at the same time there's this hidden bomb or explosive that it's just threatening. It's there, and it's gonna explode. So there's a sense of anxiety that keeps building every time we hear things that could have happened in the last few weeks of last president's term. And it just feels so scary. And at the same time, it feels, I'm just going to go on a tangent. It feels like it didn't end with Joe Biden's inauguration. Not only it didn't end, but it's threatening to come back again. So, yeah, there you go. So that's another reason why perhaps we wanted to document this moment in time, looking back, but also knowing that there's something threatening upon us that who knows. But anyhow, I'm just gonna move forward, and yeah, let me just go to the actual, perhaps stylistically most visual example that was not grammatically correct of what we meant with a combination of monochromatic and colorful. This is a painting by a Belgian female pop painter. Her name was Evelyn Axel. This was painted in 1964. She was born in 1935 and she lived until 1962, and she was a Belgian pop painter. She is best known for her psychedelic, erotic paintings of female nudes and self-portraits on plexiglass that blend the hedonistic and pop impulses of the 1960s. We did not know about these artists, Evelyn Axel, but after... and this is the greatest thing about doing this painting collections and finding historical references about the work. We are encouraged to look back and find examples of artists that perhaps are not very well known, or that art history swept under the rug for whatever reason, and they precisely are talking to us directly about subjects that they tackle that we are going to get inspired by, or we're going to tackle again. And we have found so many discoveries, or we have discovered so many amazing artists with incredible lives, that we're so grateful that they, or the subjects, have given us the opportunity to go back and rewrite history in our own terms. But essentially, stylistically, this combination of black and white and color is what we're going for. There's also, and conceptually, if you ask me here, there is also something interesting about featuring, and by all means, there are many images of Barack Obama that he is not actually eating the ice cream, but he's holding the ice cream. So we're going to have a range of moments about the act of eating ice cream. But obviously, after reading this short biography of this female Belgian pop painter that nobody knows, we also find this erotic or sensual. We find the connection between the sensorial aspect of eating an ice cream, especially with the licking and the closed eyes. So that there you go, we went there. But anyhow, how something so innocent, could also be a representation of something else. This is an incredible artist that we just discovered because of this assignment or premise or theme for the next painting collection. Ruth Schnell. She was Israeli painter and illustrator, and she lived between 1922 and 2013. This painting is titled Girl Eating Ice Cream. And we just went back, we just went to, some of these artists don't even have a Wikipedia entry. Some do, but some don't. She happened to have a Wikipedia entry, and the first paragraph of the Wikipedia entry was a little bit strange, or at least it was different. It says Ruth Schloss, and writes a name in Hebrew as well, 1922-2013, was an Israeli painter and illustrator. Major themes in her work were Arabs, transition camps, children and women at eye level, period. She expressed an egalitarian socialist view via realism in her painting and drawing. So, of course, we love this intro, but it's strange. Major themes in her work were Arabs, transition camps, children and women at eye level. Who wrote this? Anyhow, in addition to this, we just want to say that it was amazing to discover the work of this incredible painter, and we would want you to go ahead and then, if you're close to a computer or on your phone, Google Ruth Schloss, Schloss, because she was a figurative painter, but the way she used color and the strokes and the expressionist aspect of her portraits is incredible. Anyhow, another example of a figure, a person, an individual eating ice cream that inspired us to do the next painting collection, if you just joined, which is going to be titled Barack Eating Ice Cream. And we're going to paint portraits of Barack Obama eating ice cream. And there are plenty of images of him, and that tells you that there was a time in our history where public figures were seen doing something that was really nice. Anyhow, so continuing on, there is a couple more, but let me just bring this image right here. There's this is a painting by Pamela Levi, I think, or Levy, I'm not sure. Girl Eating Ice Cream, 1989. She was an American artist, Pamela Denman, later Levi. She was born in Fairfield, Iowa. She completed her BA at the University of Northern Iowa. In 1972, she moved to New Mexico and joined an artist commune in Santa Fe. In 1976, she emigrated to Israel after converting to Judaism and marrying Itamar Levi, a psychologist and art critic. So there is more about her life, but we wanted to give you like a little bit of context. And this is a very interesting image. It's a little bit cropped on the top. There's a little bit more of the painting, but we love this combination of a figure. And there's something that we associate eating ice cream with childhood. And I feel like there is something really nice about that association, just because there's something freeing and something stripped or removed of any responsibility, order, rules. I don't know, there's something that feels really nice to celebrate. And then there is this incredible structure on the background that's rigid, dark, menacing, pyramid-like element. So we don't know exactly what's going on, but perhaps this could be a good inspiration to decide if we want to introduce any spatial elements in our painting or not. I'm going to move forward with a couple more images that we thought would be appropriate to bring up as inspiration for Barack eating ice cream. This is an image of by a contemporary artist. So perhaps it's a little bit different because there's a lot of figures. There are a lot of figures. The Ice Cream Van by Alexander Guy. He's on Instagram, by the way. You can check. He was born in 1962. He is so then he would be like 61 years old. I think so. He looks older than that, by the way. Anyhow. So this painting, we brought this painting because there's ice cream person selling ice cream, and there's like people around him, and we brought the image because it reminds us of scenes from the Weimar Republic. The Weimar Republic was the first attempt to democracy in Germany in between world wars. There's something about the Weimar Republic that people celebrate today because there were a lot of references, a lot of things that happened there. That brief period of time after the First World War and then before Hitler reached power, I guess. It was 10 years. I think it was 1918 or the end of the beginning of 1920s. And then before or 1930 when he just, he started doing these awful things. That period historically, it feels eerily similar to not what we're going through right now, but there's something about that period that fostered creativity and experimentation. There was an openness in society. It was not perfect, but at the very beginning, there was an influx of people that decided to go live in Germany at the time, of different social classes. So there was the perfect ground for fertile artistic expression. A lot of iconic movements that we still revere happened during the time. Writers, the Bauhaus movement or school happened then, and there was this interest in a different kind of realism, and people wanted to feature society at the time, and the inequality perhaps, but also the freedom and the expression. So this was painted in we don't know, but this is a contemporary artist, so I don't know exactly, but sorry about this introduction about the painting, but this reminds us of paintings by Otto Dix, for example, who documented society with caricaturesque the features, and almost grotesque. There's something about this scene that doesn't feel like it's happy. The figures are completely serious and scared and zombie-like. So it almost looks like they're just walking towards disaster. So it feels like a very like an omen or premonition of something dark that's going to happen. And I feel like based on the news that we've read in the past few days, it just feels like we're walking towards disaster also. So let's just paint these ice cream scenes for now to remember the past, celebrate summer, know what we had and what we lived, and at the same time realize that we're just going in slow motion towards full-on fascism, I guess. I don't know, it just feels really terrible with the voter suppression, with all these accounts by different books that are getting published right now about the last few days or weeks in last president's presidency and the attempts to subvert the results of the election and all that stuff, and how this hasn't ended. Not only hasn't ended, but I feel like it's getting reignited again. So finally, I think we have maybe a couple more. but I'm just gonna leave it here. I think I have a couple more, but I just want to leave it with an image, black and white image of Barack Obama eating ice cream. There were articles, actually listicles rather than articles. The articles that list things. There were articles featuring images of Barack Obama eating ice cream. But I want to just read something that I had no idea about. Barack Obama, his first job, are you ready for this? His first job was as an ice cream scooper at a Baskin Robbins in Honolulu. And we had no idea about that. So, and I'm just quoting him right now. Scooping ice cream is tougher. I think he said that in 2016. I don't know the exact date. Scooping ice cream is tougher than it looks. Rows and rows of rock hard ice cream can be brutal on the wrists, Obama said in a February 2016 LinkedIn post. So, which is very interesting. A LinkedIn post. For him, the job taught a plethora of valuable lessons, including responsibility, hard work, and balancing a job with friends, family, and school. And Obama talked about the job only after announcing the Summer Opportunity Project, which, according to Eliza Collins at Politico, would bring state and local leaders, community organizers, and businesses together to get people the first jobs. Anyhow, so this was 2016. This was the last year of his presidency, of his term. It's interesting that he brought this up at the time. And we learned about this biographical piece of information at the end of doing the research for this presentation. And it just made sense that we're doing this week, because it's a combination, or sort of like a full circle, between how we feel about the time that we're living right now, the awful stories that are coming out about what could have happened just a few months ago, and remembering how things were before this disaster. So please register. Our link is online on our website. We're going to paint Barack Obama eating ice cream. We're going to organize or put together an image bank of photos of him at different times during the presidency, the 2 terms of him eating ice cream, going to businesses and just doing something that we haven't seen in more than 4 years. By the way, it was nice to see Joe Biden, I believe, last week, also going to an ice cream parlor and ordering an ice cream and paying with cash. And it just made us also nostalgic. And that's the reason why we're going to do this week. Let's just put our energy into hoping that we're not gonna end up like the Weimar Republic in Germany. And if we end up like the Weimar Republic in Germany, let's enjoy this, instead of like 10 years of democracy, perhaps these 4 years of democracy before shit goes down. Who knows? All right, on a positive note, we would love for you to join. It's 3 hours total, 2 instructional hours, and then 1 hour of exchanging. Our paintings will be featured in the gallery. By the way, if you are watching this or listening to this and you joined last week's airplane windows, please take these final few hours before we start the new collection to work on that piece. We want to feature it on our gallery. And also we have tonight, Thursday night, studio time, if you want to join tonight and keep working on it, and we'll just give you more feedback. But we're excited for this new painting connection. Thanks everyone for joining, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.